little girl washed her face for the first time, and she grew a chicken beak. Immediately afterward, she began to peck at the boards incessantly. Even her feet became chicken claws. By the time she rushed out of the house, her body had begun to mutate. The next second, she turned into an old hen. Her sister was stunned at the sight of this scene, but the parents couldn't believe that this chicken was their daughter, so they put it in the coop to lay eggs. The girl became this way because she ate a candy given by the witch. One day a little boy was targeted by the witch. She took out the candy for the boy to eat, but the giant snake on his arm scared the boy. It was obvious that if he didn't eat it, he would die. But then the boy's grandmother called out. When he looked again, the witch had disappeared. The boy told his grandmother about his encounter with the witch. The grandmother knew that the boy had been targeted by the witch, so she took him to a luxurious hotel for shelter. But what he didn't realize was that a group of witches had also entered the hotel. The boy runs to a meeting room to play, but it wasn't long before a group of witches walked in. Just as the witches were walking up to the podium, suddenly she smelled a child's breath. The boy hid under the podium in time to be discovered. The witches took off their disguises to reveal their unique 3 fingers. When the wigs were removed, the witches felt relaxed, and the witches below were all bald. There were no toes on their feet. There was only one toe, unique to the boss of the witches, a symbol of dignity. Just as they were wrapping up the year, the witch once again detected a childish odor that annoyed her immensely. The children hiding under the table were trembling with fear, but the witch peeled back the tabletop and found nothing. Unbeknownst to the boy has been hiding in the ventilation ducts. When the witch came to the duct, Fatty knocked on the door of the witch's room for a piece of chocolate. He was induced by the witch to take the chocolate, but as soon as he finished eating it, he began to twitch and convulse, and purple smoke came out of his ears, and then he flew up in the air, and when he landed again, he was a mouse. At the witch's command, all the witches started stomping on him, but then a mouse came out and took him back to the air ducts, and brought him back to the air ducts, but because of that, they were exposed. The witches opened the door and yanked the boy straight out. They held the boy down and poured a mysterious potion. It wasn't long before the boy turned into a mouse. The boy became a mouse. As he tried to escape, the witches held him down by the tail, and took out a wooden hammer, and the mouse went out and bit the witch's finger. But even though they escaped back into the air ducts, the witch came after them. She stretched out her 99-meter-long arm and kept chasing the mice, but they managed to escape in time by ducking into another duct. But the witch's arm was in trouble. On the other side, when the hotel staff saw the mice, they took a broom and swatted them. But the 3 little ones escaped into the room and called out to the woman's grandmother. It turned out that they had all been enchanted by the witch. That's why they were turned into mice. They wanted their grandmother to change them back, but Grandma couldn't do anything without the antidote. Luckily, the witch lives downstairs in Grandma's hotel. If she steals the potion back, she could try to make an antidote. Grandma puts a mouse in a sock and hands it downstairs. The mouse sneaks into the witch's room. She found the potion and was ready to go home. But then the witch came back. He could only hide under the bed. When the witch wasn't looking, he hid the potion in his sock. But as it slowly rose, the witch pinched the sock. Just when she was puzzled, Grandma popped up and said she dropped the sock on the balcony. But the witch wasn't that gullible. And then there was a knock on her door. The witch didn't pursue the matter any further. When we got home, Grandma poured the potion together and waited for a miracle. But as the potion turned black, the 3 of them still couldn't turn into human beings. That would mean they would have to spend their lives in the bodies of mice. But the 3 children were not discouraged, because they wanted to get rid of the witch, so that no child would ever be a mouse again. That night, Grandma sneaked into the witch's room with the 3 little mice. They were going to destroy all the potions that turned them into mice. But just then, the witch suddenly came back. After seeing the people in the house, she stretched out her 10-meter-long claws and tried to catch the grandmother. While the grandmother was holding the witch back, the 3 little mice also started the action. The witch drank a whole bottle of potion and started smoking all over her body, directly into a giant mouse. At the end of the story, Grandma puts it in a glass jar, and released a kitten, and she pays for her misdeeds.